guys, thanks for joining me today. It's another beautiful day. My name is Messiah Obolanle Ojo, and today on Event Management 103, I will be talking on how to charge your client as an event planner. When you hear the word event planner, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind should be a professional person, like an architect when it comes to the construction of building, stuff like that. So an event planner, how do you charge as an event planner? I've had a lot of people that we don't know how to charge these people. How do I charge my clients? Should I charge them this or that? One thing you must know is you must know the client you are dealing with. Once you know the client you are dealing with and you know what your client wants, so it's not a big issue for you when it comes to charging. Take for example, if you are in a rural environment, not the big cities, the way you charge as an event planner, it's going to be low. You got what I'm trying to say now. You can't be in an environment, a rural environment, whereby you don't have corporate events happening there, you don't have big events happening, and you want to charge big. It doesn't work like that. So if you're in a rural environment, you can't really charge much. So when it comes to your charges again as an event planner, you need to consider this factor. When it comes to corporate event, you charge more. People get more pay when it comes to corporate event compared to a social event. We have a lot of people in the social event stuff, but when it comes to corporate event pays more. So when it comes to a corporate event, you charge more, even 30% increase thereabouts compared to your charges when it comes to a social event. And if you look at a corporate event, you know that corporate event sometimes needs more work because everything needs to be on point, needs to be detailed. So when it comes to charges, how do you charge your client? You need to charge based on your experience. You need to charge based on the value you deliver. You need to charge based on your educational background. A lot of people say, I didn't really go to school to study event planning. I don't really have education. Who told you don't have educational background? As far as you went to your secondary school, you went to your university to study, even though if you didn't study something related to event planning. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So you charge based on these factors. You need to consider you need to put into consideration these factors when you're charging your client. You need to be bold and try to explain to your client what they will get for what they are paying you for. You need to spell it out, right? That is what I call the terms and conditions. You see, we've met a lot of people in the industry, so clients again, that when it comes to pay, they start telling you one thing or the other. Try to put that in your terms and conditions. You pay me so a month, you get this. You pay me so a month, you get this. So when it comes to charges, how do you charge? Number one, a lot of people charge based on the day of the event. So if it's a 2 days event and you're just coordinating as a planner, you're not really doing much work. Maybe some of the vendors are being sorted out. In this part of the country, you hear people say, I have one of my siblings doing this, I have one doing this, I just need you to help me out that day. You charge based on the day, if it's 2 days or a day. Now you can also charge, based on percentage being made on vendors. But I don't really encourage that. I don't really advise people to do that. You get your money based on the vendors you bring in. Some people are like that. You get your money based on the vendors that comes to work. So you start negotiating with the vendors. No, it doesn't really send a good message to your clients, because your clients would think you are bringing people based on your relationship to get more pay, not based on professional delivery, not based on professionalism, but based on the vendor you've had a relationship with, so you will be able to make more money. So you can also charge based on a percentage from the event budget. Now take for example, you've spent 3 million, 5 million thereabouts on an event. So you charge based on the event budget. Maybe you're spending 5 million and you're saying you're collecting 10% of the money spent on an event. Sometimes your clients might not really like that, because your client will think you want to make more money, so you are increasing the budget for an event. You want the budget for an event to be more, maybe like 10 million naira, so you'll be able to make 20% or 10% of maybe 10 million naira or 20 million thereabout. So I don't really advise that. So when it comes to hourly rate, again, you can charge based on the hours or your effort into planning and executing and monitoring and controlling the event. Don't forget, it takes more than 100 hours to plan an event, from initiating to closing time. So if you're charging hourly, for some amateurs, they might charge like $30 per hour, and for some professionals, they can charge $150 per hour. But this part of the continent that I am in right now, hourly rate is not something we do here. So I will encourage flat fee, which is the best way to charge your clients, and this is the last I'm talking about when it comes to how to charge your client. Flat fee is the best. Once you've spoken to your client and you know what it entails to start this event and to end the event, you will be able to charge your client when it comes to flat fee, depending on the stress, your effort into the work. So if it's a wedding, a 2 days wedding, you can decide to charge so amount. Okay, I'm charging you 500,000 naira for planning this event. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? Then you tell your client, I collect 50% now. I collect 50% maybe 2 weeks before the end of before the date or the day of the event. Or you collect 70% now, and you collect 30% a week to the event day. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So this is how you charge your client as an event planner. But I will advise you to go with a flat fee. Have an amount you charge based on if it's a day or 2 days event, based on the location, based on if it's a corporate or social event. So also then, as an event planner, how do you select the right vendors, and how do you pay your vendors? That's another thing, because when it comes to the event industry, we've had a lot of issues with some people, with some vendors, and with some event planners too, that they don't really pay well. So when you pay your vendors, just take this into consideration, that if you are paying well, and I mean well, you are paying well, as an event planner, you're paying well, then you can pay your vendors 80%, and when the job is done, you balance them with 20%. But if you are not paying well, there are some vendors you need to pay 100% before the D-Day. For the day of the event, you pay them 100%. Now imagine you're paying for catering services, now you are paying maybe 50%. It doesn't really work, because you need to cook, get a lot of stuff, and even your 50% cannot cover the whole thing needed for the success of the event. So when it comes to selecting vendors, you need to spell out your terms and conditions too. So also every vendors, they have their own terms and conditions too. So you need to spell it out when it comes to delivery and when it comes to pay. A lot of people, they don't read the terms and conditions. Sometimes when you want to open an email address, you see, I agree, I do not agree. So most of us, we don't read the terms and the conditions. We just click I agree and go ahead. So when it comes to events and it comes to money issues, you need to read the terms and conditions very well, and then you click I agree when it comes to paying your vendors. And so also you also spell it out to your client when you're charging her. This is what she's getting, and this is what you've been paid for. Do you get now? To avoid any altercation, to avoid any fight between you guys. So thanks for joining me today, and See you some other time as we discuss the 3D floor plan, AM 104. Thank you. See you some other time.